What is going on, everybody? I'm hoping y'all having a great day. My name is Josh, and in this video I'm going to be explaining from the very beginning how to start day trading futures. Now this video is going to be for beginners who don't know what the first step is and how to maneuver around and figure out whether you want to use your own account, your own money, or a prop firm. So, if this is something you're interested in, man, please hit that like and subscribe button. It does help the algorithms out, and I appreciate it very, very much, y'all. So let's get right into it. I'm going to turn my face off. That way you don't see me. That way we can focus just strictly on what we're looking at on the screen, guys. Alright, so very first, this is what I've got written down. If you're new to futures, where do I begin? Step 1. Do you want to trade with a prop firm, or do you want to trade with your own capital? Now, for those of you who don't know, a prop firm is a company that will allot you a certain amount of capital in return for a percentage of your earnings. So I'm going to give you 3 examples of the prop firms, starting with the best one that I believe is the best, and then the third one, which is, not the best in my eyes, but it's still fairly okay. So, prop firm or your own capital. Let's start with the 3 prop firms that I have up here. So the very first prop firm that we're going to take a look at is Take Profit Trader. TakeProfitTrader.com, guys. This is by far the best firm in my opinion, and I've been doing this for about 5 years now, trading the future sector of the market. So I'm not going to go over what makes this firm the best in my eyes. I'm just going to show you their accounts and what they have to offer you. So they're very basic. They give you $25,000 in capital, $50,000 in capital, $75,000 in capital, $100,000, and $150,000. Now the prices vary, of course, but right now they do have a 30% discount code. It is no fee 30 in all caps. You'll notice that if you go to their website, and you'll be paying 30% off of $252. All right, so with this, I believe, and I want to say in my own personal opinion, the $25,000 or the $50,000 is the best ones for starters. For those of you who are just starting to trade futures, I would go with either the $25,000 or the $50,000. You're allotted 3 positions, 3 contracts to trade with, or 30 micros, and then the $50,000 you are able to use 6 full positions or 60 micros. So for those of you who don't know, a full position is equal to 10 micros. So if you have 6 positions, 6 times 10, of course, is 60. So micros is what happens when you want to trade the market, but you don't want to risk a lot of money. You can just do 1/10 of an actual full-size position, whether it's a NASDAQ, which is an NQ, or the ES. You'll be trading micro ES, so MES, MNQ for micro NASDAQ, so on and so forth. All right, so this is by far the very first prop firm that I'm mentioning because it's the best one that I believe. Now you also have Elite Trader Funding. So they have a little bit more to offer you. Not saying they're a horrible firm, but I believe personally they are number 2. So you have Fast Track. Now once again, I'm not going to go over what this website is. I'm just showing you the different options of different prop firms. You got a Fast Track, you have 1-step evals, you have end of day drawdowns, you have a static, you have a diamond hands, which you can hold overnight and over weekends, and then they now offer direct to funding where you don't have an evaluation. So with Elite Trader Funding, you have to trade 5 days in order to pass their evaluation phase. But they do offer you an add-on, I believe it's an extra $35, and that allows you to pass their evaluation in 1 day. Unlike Take Profit Trader, you have to trade 5 days in order to pass their eval, a minimum of 5 days. You can take a month if you want to, but you have to trade a minimum of 5 days. Now, Elite Trader Funding, you have to do the 5 days unless you purchase the package to where you can trade 1 day and pass it in 1 day. But that's totally up to you. Alright, the third prop firm, which is my third favorite, is going to be Apex Trader Funding. They also offer you different plans. They're very similar to Elite Trader Funding. They have 100,000s, 150,000s, 50,000s, 25,000s. They offer you a $300,000. This is the biggest one that they offer, as well as my apologies. Elite Trader Funding also offers a $300,000 account. Now, the only difference between this $300,000 account and the Elite is Apex lets you trade 35 positions instead of just 30. But their profit goals are both the same. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the logistics and the details on the firms. Just know that Apex and Elite Trader both offer pretty much the same package. Apex does not give you a diamond hands account, though. They don't let you hold over the weekends or overnights. So that's the difference between them. I do also have a video on Apex Trading Funding's rules. So if you go look for that video on my YouTube channel, it has all their rules. So, number 1, Take Profit Trader. Number 2, Elite Trader Funding. And number 3 is Apex. Now, the other route you can go to, from what I said in my notes, you can trade your own capital. So, how do you do that? So, what you want to do is you want to go to tradeovate.com. And you want to start a free trial. This is going to set you up. You have to put your name and all that good stuff in. Your social security number, you'll have to put all that in there. Just hit try free trial and it'll set you up. You have to put your social in there for your KYC so they can know who you are for end of year taxes, of course. Now, how do you get money to this account here? What you do is, I use Capital One. I just wire transfer money from my Capital One account to my personal TradeOvate account. So I trade prop firms as well as I have my own personal trading. Now, the prop firms, most of them you will have to pay 20% of what you earn. So when it's time for you to make a withdrawal, you'll pay them 20% of what you request. So if you request $10,000, they're going to get $2,000 off the top, and they will give you the 8. That's just an easy number. I don't want to go into any details on payouts because that's not what this video is about, guys. All right. Number 2, which account size or how much to wire transfer? All right, so let's start with the wire transfer question. I would personally, if I was starting out, I would personally put no less than $500 in my TradeOvate account. With $500, you can trade comfortably 1 micro, possibly 2 micro positions. All right. If you put $1,000 in your own personal account, I would feel comfortable trading anywhere between 5 micros and 10 micros. But if you're just starting out, if you're doing $500, I would recommend 1 micro. And if you're doing $1,000 or more, I would recommend 5 micros. Whether that's micro NASDAQ, micro ES, micro Dow, micro Bitcoin, stick with micros until you build that account up. So for the account size, like I said, personally, this is my own opinion. If you're going to go with Apex, I would just go ahead and get one of the first 2 smallest ones, whether that's the $25,000 or the $50,000. Here's your $25,000. They give you 4 positions to trade. And here's your $50,000. They give you 10 positions to trade. That is a lot of position, guys. You can make your $3,000 in one day with 10 positions. Now, you'll be gambling because you're a beginner trader. So I don't recommend that. Even though Apex Trader Funding kind of pushes trading, they push gambling because they let you pass it in one day rather than trading it in all 5 days for your evaluation. If you're first starting off, you want to get to know the charts. You want to take your time. You just don't want to get in a position full ported with your max contracts, right? You're not going to win that way. Trust me. I've been there. I've done it. I've been doing this for too long. I'm trying to give you the best advice as possible. All right. If you get the $50,000 account here, I don't like how this keeps moving. If you get this account here, I would maybe trade 1 position of full-size NASDAQ or 6 or 7 micros. If you have any questions on What's the difference between micros and full sizes? NQ, NQ, MNQ. Just know that an MNQ is 1/10 the size of a full-size NASDAQ, guys. I'll make another video later if y'all would like me to go in more detail, but it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Micros are 1/10 the size of a full-size NASDAQ or ES or whatever you're trading, y'all. All right. Step number 4, which asset to trade. I'm going to give you my personal opinion, just because this is what I trade and I'm profitable on this one asset. I don't trade multiple assets. I used to, but I gave it up. The NASDAQ, NQ, this is what I trade. If you're going to do micros, it's going to be MNQ. And if you want to do full-size NASDAQs, it's going to be NQ. That's your contract names. And if you're doing ES, it's going to be ES or micro ES. But personally speaking, the NASDAQ is what I trade, and that's what I'm profitable off of. So that's what I'm going to recommend any trader to trade with. You have high volume on certain sessions, right? You can get in and out, make your money, and not worry about having to be at the charts all day. You don't want to be at the charts all day because then you have more time to give your money back to the market. So NASDAQ is what I'm recommending anybody to trade, a beginner or a novice or somebody who's been doing it for a million years, and they already know how the NASDAQ operates, and they'll agree with me. All right, which sessions should you trade? So you have different sessions. You have the New York session. Actually, you have 3 parts to New York. You have New York AM, you have New York lunch, and you have New York PM. I personally, if I'm going to trade a New York, I only trade the AM session. I don't touch the Asia session because the Asia session is too slow for me. And I also, if I am awake at that early morning hour, I trade the London session. So London moves fairly well. New York AM trades fairly well. The New York lunch is, it's a little weird, but you know, it is what it is. If you like the New York lunch, then go ahead and trade it. The New York PM session is slightly volatile, but it's not as volatile as the New York AM session. So my advice to a brand new trader would be stick with a session, learn it, watch it, get as much screen time as you can. I'm not saying to trade it all the time. If you make your money in a matter of 20 minutes or 10 minutes, leave it alone. But stay in front of the charts. That way you can learn how that session trades. All right, so for me personally, it's going to be the London session, which is around 2 o'clock Central time for me in the morning, or New York, which is 8:30 Central. All right, so we got that down. Step 5, how much to put on / position size. I think I covered that a little bit earlier. For beginners, put on as little as you can. That means you want to trade micro, whether that's ES, NQ, Dow, Bitcoin, whatever the case may be. Make sure it's micro. Get acquainted with the markets and how the market moves. If you go in with a full NQ with only $1,500 drawdown, because most of your $25,000 prop firm accounts, they're going to give you a $1,500 drawdown. That can go super fast if you don't know what you're doing. So I recommend 1 micro, 2 micros, or hey, maybe even 3. But stick with the micros when you're first beginning how to trade, guys. All right, step 6. How much should I risk per trade? That totally depends on the account size that you buy, right? If you get a $25,000 evaluation and you're trading 1 or 2 micros, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be hard to lose a lot of money with 1 micro unless you're trying to. I know that's weird being said that way, but let's put it this way. In order to lose $100 or even to profit $100 on a micro position on the NASDAQ, the market has to move 50 points. So if you're in a trade and it moves the opposite way of what you want it to do, you're going to be down $100 just off of a 50-point move. So if you have the $25,000 account, your drawdown until you blow it is $1,500. The market's got to fall substantially before you even blow your account. That's why I say micros are great for beginner traders, guys. All right. Step 7, how much do I want to make per day? So during your evaluation phase, you only want to make $300 to $400 on your evals, because typically you have 5 days to pass, and typically your profit target is going to be $1,500 to pass your evaluation in 5 days. So if you do 300 a day, 300 times 5 is $1,500. There's no need to make $1,000 on your evaluation every single day. You don't need to make 600. You don't need to make 700. Make 300 a day. Focus on that number. Or make less. If you feel comfortable with extending that evaluation out to, say, 10 days or 20 days, that's totally fine, as long as you pass your evaluation on the first try. Now, you're not going to do it. A lot of people fail and fail and fail. It's just part of the process. But if you want to be super careful and pass this evaluation on the very first try, just make $100 a day. You know, if you make $100 a day, it takes you 15 trading days to pass this $25,000 account, which is 3 weeks. You'll pass the account in 3 weeks. But if you want to try to pass it in 1 week, which is 5 trading days, you go ahead and make your anywhere between $300 to $400 a day, and you're going to pass it in no time, guys. It's going to go up a little more if you do choose a $50,000 account, because then that goes from, I hate when this thing moves like that, right? It's going to go from proxy to profit target 1,500. It's going to double. So with it doubling at 50,000, you'll have to make in between $600 to $800 a day, right? That's just, it is what it is. If you're confident enough that you can do that, like I said, you don't have to pass these in 5 days. You can pass them in a month, right? If you pass it in a month without resetting it, then you've saved yourself some money, guys. All right, so once you get all this down pat, once you get your own capital in your account, or once you get your prop firm, what assets you want to trade, this and that, you're going to go to TradeOf8.com, and under whichever one you choose, Apex, Take Profit, or even Elite Trader, under your dashboard, they're going to give you some login credentials. That is the login into TradeOf8, if you choose TradeOf8 as a trading platform. Now, I don't know anything about NinjaTrader or all the other ones. I'm only speaking on what I know how to trade on, and that is TradeOf8. So, it's going to come up like this. Now, you can configure this whichever way you want to. I do have a video on the basics of how I set my charts up. If you want to go ahead and watch that video to show you how to set a TradeOf8 up. As in, I have my exponential moving averages. That's basically the only thing I have on the charts is the exponential moving average. So, once you get in, once you get your prop firm, you'll get loaded up here with your accounts. They're going to come right here. If you get multiple accounts, you can copy trade them. I have a video on copy trading as well. So this is going to be your account number. This is going to be the equity. So this is a $50,000 eval. On my day number 1, I accidentally made $959. So it is what it is. I'm not tripping. I'll just have to keep consistently making, you know, 500, 600, 700 for 5 days. So right here is the asset that I'm trading. I have NQM5, which is the NASDAQ. I do have crude oil here. I don't trade it. I just look at it. Then these are the micros I was telling you about. MNQM5. This is the micro NASDAQ. Oh, it's way up here. This is the micro NASDAQ. Now, I changed this to all yellow just because I like to trade with no green and no red. So it's a mental thing to me. You can, if you have any questions on how to change colors and stuff, I'll be glad to let you know via a message. Also, you can see I have different time frames. This is a 1 minute NQ. It's up here. So there's a 1 minute NQ. You could also split screen this. You could put as many as you want, different time frames. So this is the 1 hour NASDAQ candle. This is the 1 minute NASDAQ candle. You can also squeeze you a third one in here if you'd like, and do a 1 minute, a 30 minute, and it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to do, right? A 5 minute. So NQM5 is a full size position, and then you have your micros. Let's see where my micro went. Here it is, right here. Micros is 1/10 of a full size NASDAQ, guys. All right, so we covered the basics on how to get started, man. I know I kind of ran through this kind of quick, but I kind of wanted to just cram everything into this one video. I think I'm probably at minute number 10 or 12. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't want to make this video too long, so I would bore you, so I try to just get down to the, the meat and potatoes of everything. So prop firms are your own capital. Which account size? I went over a couple of the account sizes. If you have any questions, just shoot me a comment and I'll get right back with you. Which asset should you trade? Me personally, I do the NASDAQ, but you can trade silver, you can trade gold, you can trade oil, you can trade the ES, you can trade the Russell, Bitcoin, whatever your fancy is. You can trade cow feed if you want to. You can trade natural gas. Which sessions? So me personally, I like the New York AM session, and I also like the London session. The Asian session is too slow for me, guys. It's just entirely too slow. So is the New York lunch session. I don't trade that as well. And then sometimes I may trade the New York PM session, but that's very rare. When I make my money, I'm done for the day. I make $400, I make $500, I'm done for the day. How much should you put on position size? It all depends on the account size that you get and how much capital you have in it. Same thing with the risk. How much should you risk per trade? Risk as little as possible. Sometimes for my trades, I don't like to lose $150. So I'll have a stop loss X amount of points away from my entry to where I only want to lose $150 per trade. Okay? And how much do you want to make per day? So in the evals, you just want to take your total profit target and divide that into, if you want to do it in a week, you divide that and that's the number you want to do a day, 300 to 400 in a day. Or if you're doing the bigger sizes, of course you're going to have to make more money, but you also have more positions to put on, which will make your daily loss limit a little bit bigger. So it kind of evens itself out. That's about it, guys. I'm pretty sure I covered the basics on starting. Like I said, if y'all have any questions, just hit me up. Don't feel hesitation to hit me up. I'm always reaching out, and I'll put a link to my Discord in the description of this video, guys. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all got some knowledge out of it. I tried to explain everything the best that I possibly could. That's it, man. If you watched it to the end, I appreciate it. And please hit that like and subscribe button for the algorithms, guys. Y'all have a great day, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace.